Hi, welcome to Polyphonic Press. I'm Jeremy Boyd.
I'm John Van Dyke.
And today we're going to be talking about a guy who's analyzing the 500 greatest songs of all time as decided by Rolling Stone magazine. Here we go. Alright, so this guy is over-analyzing, in my opinion, the list that was put out by Rolling Stone magazine in 2004 and then updated in 2010 of the greatest songs of all time. And basically his complaint is, I don't really actually know the reason that he's doing this. It was never really made clear to me why he's actually, he never really explained the purpose that he's actually doing this.
I guess, I don't know, he just feels he needs to figure out what it is that makes songs popular.
Yeah.
He just wants to figure out that he wants to find a mathematical thing that makes songs popular. And this is not the first attempt I've ever heard of that.
No, I mean, people have been doing this in pop music for years, trying to, have focus groups and market research and try to figure out what makes songs popular and I've seen recently that most songs on the radio are in the key of C and they contain this certain phrase.
But that's because somebody
like
sort of came up with it didn't always used to be sort of like that, but it sort of became that way because someone came up with a mathematical solution so far.
That was probably sometime in the early 80s when they started to regulate radio a little bit more, FM radio.
And it's been suffering ever since.
Yeah. So, this is part of the music culture that annoys me, is when they try to make music into a science or try to put some sort of scientific explanation as to why a certain song works or why something is popular. Most of the time, the reason that something is popular is because most people enjoy listening to it. Mm-hmm. There's a reason that
it may be like, and sometimes it does have something to do with how it sounds, but it only really works the once. It becomes they go, oh yeah, that works really neat like that. At least everybody I've ever talked to, that's sort of what they analyze. It works that way. But if you try to copy it, it just sounds like a copy of it.
Yeah, look at what happened in the 90s when you had Pearl Jam was one of the biggest bands in the world, and then everybody sounded like Pearl Jam.
Or Green Day. And then everybody tried to sound like Green Day.
Yeah, and they tried to cash in on the popularity of
one band's success.
One band's success. What they didn't realize is the reason that one band was successful is because they didn't sound like anybody else.
Exactly.
So you can go in and try to figure out what is popular and what's not, but it's never going to come out because what they don't realize is once something is popular, most people don't want a repeat of it. They want something different. They want something new. That's why you can look at each decade as very distinctive styles, is because when the 80s came around, they didn't want stuff that sounded like the 70s because they already had it. When the 90s came around, they didn't want stuff that sounded like the 80s because they already had it. People always want something new. That's never going to change. And no matter how much you try to make something popular, make something sound like everything else is out there, that's not what people are looking for. What people are looking for is something different. How many times have you heard the average person say, oh, I like that song because it's different?
Yes. Or how many times have you heard someone say, oh, those guys, they're just, want to be such and such a band. Or, I mean, people, so it's been sort of chalked up to like sort of a hipsterism thing, but it's much older than that anyway.
It's been going on for
people who
years.
Are and aren't considered hipsters all say that.
Yeah.
Because they, it's just, okay, they just sound like, Green Day. And they sound like a half-assed version of Green Day.
Yeah, exactly. They never quite sound like. So, this guy, I guess, I still don't understand why he's analyzing the 500 most greatest songs of all time. For the one reason, it's an arbitrary list. It's a list put out by music critics, industry people, and the editors of Rolling Stone magazine. So it's not like that's another thing about this thing is there's no objectivity in music. Like when I do reviews, it's of an album, it's my opinion. It's not the objective truth of this is what this is a good album or a bad album. There's no objectivity.
This album is shit.
Yeah.
I say so, and you all should agree because it's shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So lists like that try to add some sort of objectivity to music. They called Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan the greatest song of all time. That's what ended up being #1. But
a lot of people may agree with that.
Yeah, but
it's certainly near the top of a lot of people's lists, but
yeah.
It's not
everybody's favorite song.
No.
And I'm sure there are quite a few people who don't even like that song.
Probably.
So you can't just go on someone's opinion. You can only go on people's opinion. There's no objectivity to
exactly.
it. So, you know, a list like that, like I said, it's arbitrary. This guy's trying to make some sort of scientific explanation as to why these songs are popular when this is something that science is great and it needs to be explored, but music isn't science. It has to do with people's emotions and feelings. It's nothing to do with, you know, trying to explain things. It's expression. It's not an explanation. So, yeah. So let us know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think this is just some sort of, you know, is this guy overanalyzing things? Do you think these things should be explored? Is there some sort of objectivity to it? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe so you know when we post new videos. And you can check us out on Twitter and Facebook. Follow John on Twitter at Funky Dutch. And that's about it. I'm Jeremy Boyd.
I'm John Van Dyke.
Take it easy.